All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is the Construction Entrepreneur Podcast. If it's your first time, look, this is a straight, raw, rough and ready podcast. No guests, me just saying it exactly how it fucking is. No bullshit. I basically just pick a topic, something every single week, and just unpack it and share with you guys what works for me, what I think's relevant, what's going to really help you guys run a business, and basically just get ahead, and that's what it's all about. It's about making more money from your business. It's about having a better business. It's about having better people in your business, and just getting straight to the fucking truth and what you need to hear. And it's really, the reason I do this is it's the information that I wish that I had available when I was younger. This, podcasts weren't really a thing. YouTube wasn't really a thing. The internet wasn't, what it is today. And you've got access to really good, sound, solid information to help you grow a business. Because construction's fucking tough. Let's make no bones about it. Construction is very, very tough. There's a lot of stuff you've got to juggle in a day. And, things come out of absolutely nowhere as well. It's really, really difficult. You're dealing with difficult people. You're dealing with clients all the time. There's a lot of shit you've got to get right. So this episode is all about how to make shit happen, and specifically the shit that you want to happen. So the goals that you've got, or the problems that you've got in front of you that you need to tackle. Everyone is going to have both of those in some shape or form. You're going to have some sort of goal, somewhere you're trying to get to, some place you want the business to be, but you're also going to have a fucking problem in front of you that you need to solve as well, without a doubt. So it's twofold. One's positive and one's a negative thing that you need to remove or solve or overcome, basically. Now, for me, if you don't work on the right things daily to make progress, either towards the goal or solving that problem, you're not really going to get ahead. And I see a lot of people, they stick with problems for a long time. They've got an issue and it's been an issue for months, sometimes even fucking years. Or they're trying to get to a place and they just can't seem to fucking get there and actually make progress. You just feel like you're on a hamster on a fucking wheel, just keep going, keep spinning, and eventually you're going to fall off or roll over backwards and fucking hurt yourself. So if that is the case, if you struggle with that, if you're trying to get somewhere or you've got a problem and you're not making the progress, you have to right now admit that you're not doing the right things. You have to admit that you're doing something wrong. Something is off. Some people are so far the other way, where they try something or they aspire to get somewhere and they've lost motivation after a week. That's not you. You wouldn't be listening to this if you are. But the flip side is some people sit with stuff for too long before they actually admit and go, look, something is off here. We need to change what we're doing. And this is what I want this episode to be, is to be that fucking clear line in the middle of going, right, this is how you actually make stuff happen, okay? So if you do the right things daily to solve that problem, you will get ahead and you will achieve your goals. And you can work smart and you don't even need to be that intelligent if you work in the right way. And what I'm talking about is operating daily, how you're operating as a person, as a business owner. You don't need to be that intelligent, but if you're doing the right things every day, then you can kill clever people that sit there and overcomplicate things and make things fucking more complex than they need to fucking be, just because you're focused and you're dialed into doing the right things. So if you want to be that person, you want to get ahead, you want to achieve your goals quicker, or you want to solve problems, listen in. This is what we need to do to attack it. And it's very simple, okay? Now, if you follow me for a while, you might have heard me say a thing before of a power hour, which is basically setting 1 hour a day. Could be an hour, could be 2 hours, whatever it is for you, but depending on the workload, where you turn off the phone, you turn off the notifications, turn off the emails, and you literally focus on the shit that you need to handle right now. Now, the next step from that is very good, by the way. That is underestimated. Don't underestimate that whatsoever, of just going, right, a specific time of the day. It could be 7 in the morning till 8 in the morning. Could be 10 to 11, depending on what you're doing. If you're going to site, or if you're meeting clients at a specific time, or you're up early, you go to the gym. For me, early morning is the best, because no one disturbs you early morning. That's why I like to be up early and out and ahead, because I can achieve more before anyone's even bothered me. So that is really, really good. The power hour works, but the big key thing that comes from that and stems from that is a non-negotiable list that you have to do every day. And those non-negotiables are built around the goals and they're built around the problems. It's very, very easy. Like, this is so simple. This is not complicated whatsoever. Anyone can get their head around this. So let's unpack it. Let's say you've got a goal at the minute, and let's say you want to get more sales in the business. And specifically, I'm just picking a number out. You can mold this to whatever you want to do, wherever you're at in business. Let's say you want to get an extra 250 grand worth of sales in the business for the year. That's your goal. Could be 2.5 million, could be whatever. You've got to track back and go, right, what would be things that you could do every day to make that happen? Like, what things could you do every day that it would be impossible for that not to happen? And bringing it back to the daily operations, because I think a lot of people have goals, but they don't actually have an action plan for how they're going to achieve the goals. So if it is increasing sales in this example, it would be reasonable to be connecting with new people or marketing every day or building relationships with someone in the right key position every day and just doing it every day. Like, it would be impossible to fail if you did something that was actually a specific. So if it was a specific of having an ad running every day for your company, that's something that is going on every day. You might need to check on that ad, you might need to spend more money, you might need to tweak it, or it could be meeting someone new, like a consultant, or whoever's controlling the work, like an architect, meeting one architect a day. Could you do that? Yes. Would it be difficult? Yes. But if you met someone new every single day and that was a non-negotiable that you had to do, and it was at a specific time that you knew you could do it and commit to it, would it be unreasonable that you're not likely going to convert those relationships into work and you solve that problem or that sales problem that you've got? It's not going to come to you. And you can flip this into, if you've got the problem of recruitment at the minute, would it be unreasonable if you connected with 20 people a day on LinkedIn, for example, who are in the role that you're trying to hire for, and you start building a relationship with 20 people every single day? Would it be impossible that you would eventually find the right person for your business because you're doing a specific action every single day? And I'm a big fan of whatever the goal is you've got, you need to bring it back and strip it back to a specific task that you can do every day. So you know that you're making progress. You know in your head, if you do that task, you are making some sort of progress. Equally with a problem you've got, there has to be a tangible thing that you can tackle every single day that is going to solve that problem. If you have got whatever problem, could be anything. It could be that you're not skilled enough, let's say. You need to up your skills. So what could be an impossible way not to fail is by doing some level of training every day around that skill. So whether if that's a communication thing, whether that's in a project management thing, whether that's in a leadership thing, depending on what size of the business you're at, I'm talking loosely because we've got every different type of listeners that listen to this. You've got people that are doing 200 grand, you've got people that are doing 5 million, you've got people that I know of that are doing 20, 30 million plus. But it's all the same shit. It is all the same shit. So you need to come with a list of, okay, what's the non-negotiables? If I did this simple, easy task every day, would that push me forward towards the goal eventually? And that's where you really need to get to. And I think if you get to a point where you've got a list of every day of between 3 and 5 things, that if you do them, it will solve you getting to the goals you've got, and it will solve the problems that you've currently got and experiencing. And this, again, not very complicated whatsoever. And this will sound very, very easy to some people, but consistency wins. Consistency in the right areas just fucking wins. It is like going to the gym every day. If you want to get in shape, if you go to the gym every day and you eat well every day, you are going to get in great shape. Like, everyone can agree with me on logic on that. So you just flip that into a business sense. And this is the thing, if your goals are that important, you'll be willing to take action every day. And if those problems are there and you need to remove them, you've got to be willing to take action every day as well, because otherwise, no one wants to sit with the same problems over and over again. And a lot of people do. They sit with the same problems over and over again and don't take the action to solve them. So it's a very simple framework to think of. So what I like to do, and I still do this now, by the way, I'm not saying to do something that I don't do and practice myself. This works really well for me, where I go, okay, these are the 3-5 things I need to do every day, like non-negotiable. Like, they're non-negotiable. I have to do them every single day. And then basically you can have a book, and I like to have you can't see it because you're listening to it, just an A4 diary. It's a page, a day per page basically. And it's the 3 to 5 things I need to get done that day, have to be done. And you just tick them off. And if you tick off all of them every day, you then put a win or a loss at the end of that day. And this is what it is. You either lose a day or you win the day, and the choice is yours. So if you define your 3 to 5 things that you have to do every day, you either win them or lose them. And the minute you start putting losses on the bottom of your page and you go, I've lost today, there is just something that goes on psychologically in your own mind, and no one wants to lose a day. That competitive nature comes through, but you're just on it every single day. And it's just the moment that you've got 3 or 4 or 5 days behind you of wins, and you've done and you've taken the actions that you need to take to get you to the goal or solve the fucking problem, becomes a habit. And you just want to keep stacking up the wins. And this is what it actually looks like. This is the realities of what actually solving problems and getting more successful and growing actually looks like. It's in the nitty gritty, day to day. And for me, I never ever want to look back and go, well, I've lost today. Because that's how it starts. You lose 1 day, you lose 2 days, you lose 3 days. Before you know it, a week's gone, a month's gone, fucking years are gone. And how many people do you know like that as well? Maybe you've done this yourself in the past, or maybe you're still doing it now. Time is just pissing away, but you're not actually gaining massive progress. And this is really what you want. Progress fuels satisfaction, progress fuels happiness, if you like, but progress fuels more progress because you get the momentum on your side. You walk around, you're buzzed because you're fucking achieving stuff. And I think if you just make it to a point where you've got the 3 or 5 things on your list, and you know that if you hit them, you have won the day, and you combine that within a power hour, all I like to do is I like to play tricks on myself and go, right, how quickly can I get them done? How quickly can I move from the actions I need to take on one thing to the actions I need to take on the next thing and get them done? And guess what? Once you've done your 3 to 5 things, you're done for the day. You don't need to work and try and juggle 18 fucking different things every day or 30 different things every day. Because I think a lot of people try and do this. They try and set themselves up for failure and have a list as fucking long as your arm with loads of stuff they've got to do, which a lot of it is actually just waiting for other people, or it's to reply to an email or some bullshit task. It's not relevant to actually moving you forward. This list is not for the bullshit stuff. This is not for the stuff that you already do. This is not for the stuff that you have to do as part of the business. This list, this 3 to 5, is literally the stuff that's solving problems or moving you forward to your goals. That is all this is on this. You don't trick yourself and convince yourself that you're doing well because you're writing down or send a quote back to the customer or check in on that job. That's day-to-day shit that you do anyway. That's the job. That's what it is. This stuff here, this list is purely around the problems you've got, the specific problems you've got in the business, and the specific goals that you've got for yourself and the business as well. That is it. That's all that is on this list. And you don't fuck around with that. Because anyone could do, if you're already doing something daily, you don't add that to the list and then, rub your own shin and go, oh, well done, I've done that today, when you're doing it anyway. This is new stuff going from now, from today, from you listening to this. You actually spend the time after this podcast episode and go, right, what 3 to 5 things do I need to do every day that are going to move me forward or solve the problem, which again, ultimately moves you forward, because that's what solving problems is. And just defining that for you for where you're at. And everyone's going to have different issues, different problems, different goals to get to. So you've just got to work backwards from that and reverse engineer it from that. But I cannot stress enough that daily work is that's what it's all about. And look, is any of this exciting? No. Is it going to be a bit monotonous sometimes? Yes, but that's what gets results. That is what gets results. Like it's the chipping away. It's like the Chinese torture. This is what they do with people. They just pour a tap over, dripping on someone's head. It's just drip away, drip away, drip away. It's not massive momentum. It's just little wins along the way that cracks people. And what you're trying to crack is yourself and trying to crack your own goals and crack your own problems. So it's got massive power in it. But honestly, if you just do that, do your 3 to 5, and if you look past your day and go, right, did we win today or did we lose today? I said this loads of times on my Instagram about winning the days. If you win the days, you win the weeks, you win the months, you win the years, you win the decades. That's how it's done. And the thing is, people don't see it. You don't see it immediately. You will not get immediate result. You won't, you don't just move forward or achieve massive things in massive leaps. But if you know in your own mind, in your own head, you can write on that bit of paper every day a win. What does that do for you as a person, as your confidence, your own self-esteem, your own fucking, I've got this, I'm under control because I'm doing the right things. If you do the right things long enough and you do the work, you will get the result. It's impossible not to. Can you do the wrong things sometimes? Yes, but only by doing them consistently will you find out they're the wrong things, and you learn a lesson and you change, you correct your course, and you refine what you're doing, and then you carry on. It's a habit. It's something you want to ingrain in yourself as the owner all the time. And this is a great thing of, adopting this policy as well for your staff. If you've got your project managers, for example, and say, right, for you, every single job you've got, here are the 3 to 5 things that you have to do every day. You have to check in on the subcontractors, the labour. You have to check in on the financials of the job. You have to check in on the program of the job. You have to check in with a client maybe. Obviously, it depends on the project and the type of work. I'm just giving you an example. There has got to be 3 to 5 things for everything. Every person that works in the business does every day without fail. Like, they're non-negotiables. And this is what it is. What does non-negotiable really mean? Like, there is zero room for error. Like, zero. Like, you cannot negotiate on this. The moment you negotiate with it, you're giving up. You're giving yourself a reason not to win. So why would you ever want to give yourself a reason not to win? If you're in business, you've got a competitive nature. You want to fucking win. And this is what winning looks like. It is doing the non-negotiables every single day. Take any athlete, any high-level actor, or someone who's fucking really achieved some big stuff. They're just doing shit every day, over and over and over again. And you'll know this in yourself. Like, if you've gone to do something, it's your very first time doing it, you're going through a process of learning, and you're not that confident in doing it. And you can apply this to a practical sense of the physical building stuff. The very first time you build stuff physically with your hands, you're not the best. It just is what it is. You haven't got the skills. You don't know exactly how to hold stuff. You don't know exactly how to hit stuff. You don't know exactly how to use the tool that you're using. Everyone can understand that from a practical point of view. But do it 5 times and you've got your head around it. You're reasonably good. But to be fucking excellent, you do it 100 times. You do it 1,000 times. So apply that methodology and that logic of building shit into actually building your business, your goals, and building solutions to fucking problems. It's the same thing. You've got to get very good at it and do a lot of repetition. Repetition is what builds reputation. And this is something I heard the other day, so I wanted to just say it. Your reputation in the marketplace is built on the repetition of doing a lot of good stuff. So a lot of good jobs, a lot of good reviews, a lot of good people saying good things about your business and what you did. And that's why time is on your side when you're very good at what you do. Once you're 3, 4, 5 years in, 10 years in, your reputation speaks for itself. You've got a brand and people want to use you as a company. So now what I'm saying is apply that logic to yourself and build the reputation with yourself by doing the repetition of what needs to be fucking done every single day. So you will identify those 3 to 5 things. If you do the repetition of doing them, you will build up a massive reputation with yourself, and you will get the results that you want. You will hit your goals and you will solve the problems that you've got. So this is all you need to do, guys, is your task for today. No fluff, no bollocks. Spend an hour today on your own, no distractions, the phone turned off, and actually drill in and go, right, okay, goals on the paper. Open up your blank bit of paper and go, right, what's the goals for this year? Let's check back in, because we're at the end of January at the time we're recording this. Some people are on track, some people are fucking nowhere near towards their goals, but you want to write down the goals on the bit of paper you've got. What's your immediate goals right now? And then equally, what's your biggest problems right now? What are the biggest challenges you are facing right now as you listen to this? And then from there, you pick out the 3 to 5 things for both sides of that bit of paper that you need to do every single day that's going to help you move forward and solve those fucking problems. And then that's it, guys. That's all you do. Every single day, Monday, the 3 to 5, tick them off as quick as you can. I would get up early and do it as quick as you can if you can. Obviously, some of them you need to speak to people, so you don't have to wait till later on in the day. But if you set yourself that little mindset game of, right, first thing in the morning, before the chaos starts, before the phone starts, before the emails start, before the customers want to meet you, whatever it is for the structure and stage right in the business, what can you achieve in that initial hour of the day? It might have to be later for you because of the structure and setup you've got, but let's just roll with it. What can you achieve in that hour of the day? Can you get rid of those 3 or 5 things? Because if you know you've won the day before the day's even really started, you're just off to a fucking winner. You deal with the day-to-day shit, that's just part of the job. But if you're actually dealt with the 3 to 5 things that are going to move you towards the goals or solve the problems, then you can tick a win on that day fantastic. And you just keep doing that. And this is not a do it for a week thing. It's not a do it for a month thing. This is a make an agreement with yourself now and do it for the long term. Just build it into your habit. And the best way of doing that, set it up in your phone now. Go to your diary and set a recurring meeting for every day. So you get a notification, you get an alarm, it's in your diary, it's blocked out, and it's fucking called your non-negotiable list, it's called your power hour, whatever you want to call it. You can even call it the not fucking around hour and getting shit done hour, whatever it works for you. If you block it and diarise it, things will happen. You get a notification and you actually want it to get to the point where you get the notification and you go, oh, fucking hell, not that again. But it's that constant reminder. You're using technology to keep reminding you every single day what's the 3 to 5 things on your list. Now, what you do is, once you've solved or achieved the goal that was on that 3 to 5 list, you change the list. You don't stop. The list changes to suit the new environment or the new goal or the new problem you've got to solve. And you just adopt this mentality. You adopt this mindset, because this is a winner's mindset. People say to me all the time, how do you develop a winner's mindset? It's by doing just basic shit like this over and over again. This is all it is. It's nothing more complicated. So once you've achieved stuff, you replace that list with new things. And then once you are doing stuff on autopilot, you're adding another thing to the list. So you've always got 3 to 5 on there, depending for you. Don't have a list of just one thing. Top it up with 3 to 5 things that are going to help you move forward towards your goal or solve a problem. If you keep doing that and you just adopt that habit, like I say, add it as a fucking thing in your calendar. It's a constant, solid reminder. It just keeps you on track, and it's exactly like just going to the gym every day. And this is the thing, some people they're either into fitness or they're not, right? You guys will know that I'm massively into it. I think it's a massive part of your own personal development, your headspace. It's great for your mental mind. Let alone, you look good, you feel good, you move better, you're more confident. If you're into fitness, you understand, you go, and people do that. But you're not actually scheduling training time and doing time for you mentally and actually executing for the business. And this is what you want to adopt, is just executing that time to move the business forward, move you forward as well. One of these things on your 3 to 5 can be a personal thing. It doesn't have to be just business. It could be a personal thing that you want to achieve, or you want to break through. Whatever it is for you, but it's got to be 3 to 5 that you've got to tick off every single day, okay? So I hope that's been useful, guys. That is a practical, solid, easy step, but do it. Just actually do it. Don't fucking fuck around and go, that sounds like a good idea. Take the action now to set it in your fucking diary. Get a day per page diary as well, physical, so you can write it down, and you literally hold yourself accountable to a win or a loss every single day. And you write in big letters on the bottom of the page, and I'm looking at my diaries in front of me, win or loss. And it's just a brutal, simple fucking way to work. It's really fucking easy. No one really wants to write, I've just lost today, and you write lose. No one wants to be a loser, ever. Whereas if you write win, you are on to a fucking winner, obviously, all right? So just go and fucking do it. Don't overthink it, go and fucking do it. Right, that is it for this episode, guys. Hope that's been useful. Again, as always, I don't ask for anything for doing the podcast, but if you like the episode, drop me a line on Instagram. It's at Dean Barton Real. If you add it to your stories, I will reshare it as well. So you might get a little bit of exposure for your business with my following. But that is it. I'll see you on the next one.